it's Micheline from Micheline Makes again. It's been half term. I've had children from one end of the half term to the other. It's now Saturday and I'm free till Monday, so I'll be doing some vlogging. So let's start with this vlog about Lekala. Right, well, do you remember the Lekala patterns that I did? I think it was the one about the sloper, that I could make my own personal sloper from Lekala. Well, a couple of people messaged me and said that they had actually used that method and they thought it was very good. One particular person who's called Barbara from Liverpool. Hi Barbara. She messaged me to say I went to the Lekala site and I downloaded 2 patterns and they both turned out really, really well. And I then said to her, would you like to show me pictures of it? And she sent me the pictures of these 2 Lekala patterns and the 2 tops that she's made. Absolutely wonderful, and she says they fit beautifully. I'll just quickly tell you what she says. My first pattern, the blue pattern blouse, I ordered where you select the type of blouse, neckline, sleeve and so on. So she basically went through that process that I taught on my vlog that I'll put a link to up here to their Lekala site, where you choose the sleeve, you choose the bodice, you choose where you want the darts. I don't seem to be able to find the number for this one, and the fabric doesn't show the darts from the neckline. They're also in the back. I have another one cut out in better fabric, but this is wearable. I decided to put elastic around the sleeve and the hem. So what I'm going to do is put a picture up of the blue blouse. This is the one that she chose. She chose different parts of the design and put it together like that. The pink one is pattern 4245 and I'll put a link up there for you to see which one it is. She lengthened the sleeves. This is so comfy to wear. I will make it again, maybe ½ an inch bigger. I really like the neck, cozy and warm, and I definitely have worn this a lot. And she says she's just about to order a dress, which is pattern number 4393. So I'll put that up there to let you see which one she's going for. The pictures, I'll also put a picture up of the tops that she's made. She has done a really good job. Considering Lekala doesn't give you great instructions, and to be honest, quite a lot of these, not necessarily Lekala, there are other ones that I've dealt with where you get patterns, free PDF patterns, or you get other patterns where you don't pay very much for the pattern and the instructions aren't that great. And Barbara then left a little bit about her. She said, I started sewing at 17. I couldn't find clothing to fit as I was so thin. Oh, Barbara, how I would love to be as thin as you. I think there's quite a few of my viewers will be saying the same thing. My boyfriend bought me a sewing machine, one of the best presents I've ever had. I'm now 60 and had a long break from sewing clothes. During this time I made curtains and cushions when I was redecorating. But now I'm back to sewing more often as retirement approaches. Or as I thought it was, it's 66 sadly for me now. I know how you feel, Barbara. I actually should have retired at 60 years and 9 months. But if you want to know the reason why I haven't retired and why his lordship hasn't retired, is that we are second relationships, second marriages. And so we, when we got together, we bought a house together, and we only finished paying for the house last year. So he said we can't stop working until we're finished paying for the house. Well, we're finished paying for the house, and on top of that, we had a pension, but we both had private pensions, and sadly when the recession started, he lost all his pension to the financial sector, who took quite a lot of, well, he was with Equitable Life and lost quite a lot of his pension, so he gets a pithy little private pension now. And I was the same. I wasn't with that company, but at the end of the day I was promised a lot of money, and when I got it, when I finally got my private pension, it was nothing. It amounted to nothing, which is part of the reason why we are still working. We're both carrying on working, and unfortunately a lot of people were in the same boat from our age, and they lost a lot of their pension money. And so basically when he and I come to retire, we'll basically have a tiny little bit of private pension and a state pension and nothing else to live on. But you know, hey, am I bothered? You know, I'm one of these people that says, there's a saying, I can't think of the saying. But hey, I have a saying that I've always used through the years, ever since my kids were little, which used to irritate them a lot, but I used to say, it's all good fun. So you see, we don't do cruises. He doesn't want to go on a cruise anyway, but we do little mini cruises to different places, and these are just our equivalent to a cruise that other people would do. So anyway, that is one of the reasons why we are still working at the ripe old age of 69. Plus, nobody wants to buy businesses these days. Nobody wants to buy a business where they've got to put a bit of effort into the job. So anyway, so she is sadly going to have to work till she's 66. She says, I really like making bags and purses, but I've only made a few, and I want to perfect the finish, so we'll be making many more, I'm sure. I do love making purses. I think it's really good. I just haven't had the time to do it. And I'm like you, Barbara, I'm looking forward to retiring so that I can make more purses. Which, by the way, my purse that I made from a German pattern, and I love. My daughter has the same one she loves. And the girl who works for us, Debbie, I gave her one for Christmas a couple of years ago, and they both said, it's starting to get a bit worn, can you make another one, because they are so great. So I'm going to be making more of those purses. Anyway, she says, I work part-time for a builder selling new homes, and on my days off I take my best friend out, my mum. How many people say that it's their best friend? Mums are always got to be a best friend. My daughter rings me. She lives so far away from here, but she rings me twice or 3 times a day because she has no family around her apart from her kids and her husband, and she's always on the phone to me, and she often says, Mum, you're my best friend. And I'm sure quite a lot of you viewers who have children, who have daughters, fingers crossed they are your best friend. I have a lovely cat called Charlie. Hi Charlie! My cats have gone outside. So now that was her with the Lekala. Now I have made, you know about these ones, I made Lekala pattern here. The one I was telling you that it was like a Victory Patterns one. This pattern is like a Victory Patterns one. This is made in a polyester crepe, but I think it would look equally as nice in a jersey. And it's very similar to the Victory Patterns high neck. It's got a high neck, and there's a dart comes down here, and a dart goes from there, and it's got a waistband, and the skirt is like almost a quarter skirt. It's quite wide. So this is a Lekala pattern, and I loved that. I've made 2 of these. I made a checkered one as well. I'm going to do this again, but I'll do it in a jersey, so in a plain jersey if I get a chance to, or in a jersey that's some kind of jersey. I'll make it, and I do like that one. I think that's really, it's a flattering pattern. The other one that I made, you'll have to excuse the state of the fabric. The other one I made is this one, which is very, I love. On Instagram, I love the Anna dress, and every time I see one on Instagram, they have their own page. There's some lovely dresses, but not many people who are big busted. So I wanted to see what it was like, but I wasn't good. BHL Anna dress is a lovely, lovely dress, and so is the Victory Patterns one. But the patterns are just so expensive, and unfortunately, like I say, when you're not on much of a wage or you don't have a great deal of money, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there, you can't afford to keep spending a lot of money on a pattern. So I got this Lekala pattern, and I saw this one, which is very similar to the BHL Anna dress, and there's the picture of it. But this fabric that I used is absolutely awful fabric. I didn't like it from start to finish. The sleeves were a little bit, they tended not to be long enough for me there. It was gapey here, this gaped a bit, and I think it's the fabric more than the pattern. And at first I put a little dart in there. I thought I'd put a little dart in there just to hold it together, and then I decided I didn't like that. It creases badly, the fabric. And I put pockets in, and it tends to accentuate my bust a bit. But what I did was I then tried it with a jumper underneath, and it worked a lot better. So I'm not impressed by this fabric. I would not use it again. It's like a cotton crepe, crepey. I bought it on one of these eBay sites where you bid for the fabric, and I won it. But when it came, I wasn't impressed by the actual fabric. But that BHL Anna dress, I thought that was a good idea. So then I tried it again, and I thought, well, I'm not going to use good fabric because it's not perfect. I still haven't got it perfect. So this happened to be some cheap fabric that I got from Dunelm, and it's actually curtain fabric. And I haven't worn this. I probably will never wear this. But the fabric, I think I've got it the wrong way around, because I think it's more of a satin, and I've turned it. It looks a bit like taffeta. It's really like a taffeta dress. But what I did here is I did some embroidery stitching round the waistline, because it's like a grey brown, this fabric. And so I did a bit of stitching there, around there, and to go with that, on the hem I put this little bit of Indian type gold braid on. It's like a party dress. I dropped the sleeve a bit more down there, which was a lot better. And yes, I think it'll be lovely when it's made with the right fabric. I do like this. Much nicer. This looks a lot better than the other one does, because it's got a bit more body to it, but still needs a bit of working on. However, having said that, I'm not sure I want to carry on making the BHL Anna, because I tend to think it accentuates your bust. It makes you have such a big bust there that I don't know that I want to accentuate it. So I didn't put a zip in because I was mocking it up. I didn't put a zip in. I just sewed up the back. Let's see if I can do it over the top of here to let you see. This is I don't know, yeah, I may make it again. This is with the pockets. I'm wearing jeans under here, so pull my jeans up. There you go. So this is it with the pockets. This isn't so bad. I find it's quite flattering. It's not too bad. Let me put my glasses on to see what it looks like. It's yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It does accentuate the bust, and I think you've got to have a fairly good high bra on, which I don't think I have. There you go. So that's this one. This is I've dropped the sleeves down a bit. Not the best fabric again, cheap fabric, curtain fabric, but not bad. It'll do, as I often say, it'll do for pit. And lastly, And the next one is from one of my viewers called Eileen, who said, eventually I'm sending you a photo of the bag I was inspired to make after seeing your video. The lighting in my new house is very poor and we had dreary weather, so no natural light. But she's done 2 bags. She said the larger bag is the first one, which is made with a circle, a strip of fabric about 2.5 inches wide sewn around the edge of the circle, and then I added a rather wide channel for the cord. I really love this and your video inspired me. I've been using it for hand sewing my hexies for perhaps a bedspread or a large tray cloth. So she uses it to keep her little hexagonal pieces of fabric in them, and she finds it handy. The smaller one is just the same size circle but without the extra band of fabric, just the channel for the cord. I can see me making more. A close friend said they would love one but can't think what they would use it for. That's hard for you and I to believe. It's true. I can think of lots of things I could use these bags for. Eileen also told me she's been living in Scotland for over 40 years and she's actually originally from around this area, the northeast of England. So thank you very much to Barbara and to Eileen letting me see the photographs and letting you see the photographs of what they've been making. If you want to send some photographs, I'll happily do a little piece for you as well. So I shall I'm going to stop there because it's getting a bit dark and I've just had to put the light on, and I'm going to be doing some more vlogging tonight to get some more videos up.